On tonight's show, Mark reviews the trainer's experience at Berlin GO-Fest. Coops and myself burn our tips on Niantic's Campfire, and Ian's nicked pub quiz. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 74, I think is correct, lads.
Yes. Don't ask
me. I'm clarifying the episode number of Incensed podcast. How are you doing, lads, today?
Ready for it, and we'll find out why in a second, but people will know by the episode title. But
I was actually good until that stupid fucking Zapdos just ran away from me.
No.
Yeah, but no, I'm joking aside. I'm buzzed, man. I'm buzzed. 2018 me would be freaking out right now. So yeah, I'm excited to get into the show. What about you, Marky?
I'm good. So was that the base rate 96% one that you had run away from you, Coops?
But at least it wasn't a hundo.
Do you know what I realised? I listened back to last week's show and I was cracking up because at the end I tried to bust a joke and I said goodbye in France to take the piss that it was in Germany, but it didn't come across funny at all. So it made
That's
it
why I
look like...
purposely left the laugh track in.
Yeah, because I was like au revoir, and I should have really said Auf Wiedersehen because it wasn't funny at all. But anyway, moving on.
I have to say, I didn't understand the link at the time. I was like, why is he starting off in French?
Yeah, no,
what's going on?
Yeah, it was supposed to be funny, but anyway, Mark, hope you had a good time, mate, in Berlin. I'm looking forward to chatting about it.
Thanks for explaining the ending of the last episode as well, because I
don't think no one got it.
But as you can probably tell from the title, Ian, would you like to intro the guest?
I think it's time. Okay, so when we started this podcast 74 weeks ago, we never thought today would happen because there was one person that we really wanted on the show.
Mystic 7.
Our guest tonight really needs no introduction. He is the OG Pokemon Go content creator. He was originally one of two creators that shared this channel, and he took the channel over and took it to massive heights. Currently sitting on a massive 982,000 subscribers. He has inspired so many Pokemon Go trainers in the last 6 years and continues to do so. In fact, I dare say none of the four of us would be creating Pokemon Go content if it wasn't for tonight's guest. The use of cinematics differentiates his content from the rest of the field, and incorporating drone footage takes his footage above and beyond. With inspiration taken from the likes of Casey Neistat, our guest tonight is the one and only Nicholas Oyzon. Trainer Tips!
Hey, hello, hi, thank you for having me.
Did we big you up enough, Nick?
That was, wow. I hope I can live up to that intro.
I'm sure you can, man.
Nick, do you know what I loved about that? He went, this guest needs no intro, then continued
and then
to
went on to do
intro.
right.
Talked for literally 10 minutes.
Hey, I wasn't missing this opportunity.
10 minutes later.
Welcome, Nick. Welcome.
Thank you.
I like how you snuck above and beyond into the intro as well.
That was clever, yeah.
I would actually get that one. And yeah, seriously.
Right away.
Drone footage, literally very few people use in Pokemon Go drone footage, which, again, your videos, it inspired me to buy a drone. Seriously.
Yeah, you crashed it.
Yeah, I did. But enough said about that.
And crashed, although you said, right.
Yeah, I've crashed my share as well. And I don't even bring it out anymore just because it's so much harder to fly. There's so many more regulations.
Yeah, there are.
So bad. I ended up buying a cheaper one,
Yeah.
well, not a cheaper one, but one that's under 250 grams, so it doesn't stick within all the sort of guidelines that you need.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
bracketed, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're bracketed to
Yeah.
determine
Right,
weight.
it's the
That's
DJI
right.
one. It's like
That's right,
249
the Mini
grams,
2,
right?
yeah, well, the Mini 3's just come out, but yeah,
Yeah.
the Mini 2, yeah.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Going off from what Ian said, and it is really funny because this is really weird for me because like Ian said, and it's so true, and I know Mark said, yep, facts as well as I did. Like for us, like this is such a pleasure to have you on because for me personally, I genuinely started, dipping my feet into the water for the Pokemon Go content creating. So I don't do it anymore, but back in the day, back in 2017, 18, I literally did that because of you. And to think that from that, I gained these three amazing friends and we started the podcast, and it's that when I really deep it, this is a really surreal moment. So seriously, and we said this on like episode 1, 2 or 3, I can't remember what one it was, and we all said, one day we're going to get Nick on, we're going to get trainer tips on, and seriously, mate, from the bottom of all our hearts, this is a great moment, and the fact I'm even stuttering my words shows how much I'm fangirling right now. So
We knew you would, man.
yeah.
Oh wow. I mean that's awesome. It's really cool to hear. You know, especially coming off like 2 years of sitting at home by myself, wondering if what I'm doing is important. It's cool to hear like real life stories like
And
that.
you're back, man. I mean, your content at the moment is really, really rocking.
Yeah, I feel like I've just found this new inspiration, I guess. I'm excited about it again. Obviously, it helps, like, being able to go outside and travel. All the things that I loved the most about it are finally back, and that helps. But, like, just, I don't know. It's been a renaissance almost, like, trying to figure out what works on YouTube again. It's like relearning everything. It's just been like a fun new game to play. How do I get back into the YouTube algorithm? What's going to work now that, you know, the same stuff from 2018, 2019, pre-pandemic, YouTube's a different place. So that stuff doesn't necessarily work anymore. And it's just been fun trying to figure it all out again.
And more importantly, mate, very close to level 50. That's the main thing, right?
Is it important? I feel like, you know, I've been in 2 level 50 races at this point, and like I just give up. Like I get into the race and I'm like, wait, I actually don't care
It's true though, isn't it?
how quickly I do this.
It's gonna happen when it happens.
Yeah, eventually, at some point. I haven't even been buying lucky eggs. I'm a terrible grinder. I really am like casual with this game. Aside, like, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would be such a casual player.
They're the best, mate. They're really the best.
One or the other,
Speaking
one
from
or the other,
experience.
isn't it? You know, I was going to say, Nick, that's a really valid point you made there. Like, you know, we talk about those 2 years, which I think everybody modified their behaviours to a different extent. And actually, we created a podcast during the pandemic. It was an opportunity for us to meet each other for the first time and build this. But am I right in thinking now that you sort of Twitch is now a thing that you don't really touch anymore unless it's a specific game now? Is it?
Yeah, I guess I'm back to putting my energy, the majority of my energy, into YouTube. Twitch was like an adaptation. It was kind of something that I almost had to do because I couldn't make the videos that I wanted to. And I think I just never like really wanted to be a streamer per se. I don't think I ever even wanted to be like a gaming content creator. Probably shows in the videos, you know, the way that I like focus so much on the scenery and the
It's all the storytelling, isn't it? You tell a really good story with your videos, absolutely, and you can see the inspirations from people like Casey Neistat, the way you are literally telling a story.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I mean, streaming just kind of happened, you know. I'm glad that it happened. I'm glad that like I even had the option to pivot, you know, in some way and adapt to the situation, considering, you know, so many people just like completely lost their jobs. So I feel super lucky to have been able to do that, but now that I'm really back on the YouTube grind, I haven't had the time to stream, and I really want to. And there were some things that I really enjoyed about streaming that I'm trying to kind of incorporate, not necessarily into the content, but more into like the lifestyle. Like I really loved how streaming was like, I turn it on, I work through the duration of the stream, I turn it off, and now I'm back to like living my life. And that was something that I didn't have for so long with YouTube because I was just carrying the camera around all day. You know, even if I'm having dinner with friends or family or whatever, I still have the camera there and I'm filming the food. And it's just like, it was just always on. It was always work. It was always, how does this fit into the video, fit into the story?
That was quite apparent though with the trailer and the skate park. I think you built one in the back garden. I think I remember watching 1 or 2 of those. So you can see that, like, you know, it's constantly on, and you're like you said, you're trying to be like, right, where can this fit in? Where can I wangle this? And no, I feel that. Yeah.
So I think coming off of streaming, I just realized like, oh, it's actually kind of nice to like have almost like a 9-to-5 schedule where I'm like, I work and then I'm done working and I can go have my life afterwards. And I think that's kind of been incorporated into the way that I'm managing the YouTube channel at this point. I'm planning out videos, I'm recording. You know, not every video is a full day adventure. Not every video is even going outside and playing the game. Sometimes it's just talking about things, and those videos are doing really well, a lot of them. So it's nice to like be able to plan something out, shoot it, and then go back to having a life afterwards.
And Nick, you just quickly before, because we definitely got to tell the listeners to pop on an Incensed because they're craving, they're ready to turn it on. But you don't have an editor, right? Do you do all of your own product, for example, or not? Have I got that completely wrong?
I'm doing all my editing right now. For a little while, I did have an editor, Steven, Shout out Steven, great guy. But I think like once the views really started dipping on the channel when I wasn't taking it all that seriously, it just didn't make a lot of sense to have someone else doing all that work when I wasn't really doing anything else with the time I was saving. When I was streaming a lot, it was good because I could like film something, send it off to Steven. I could do a stream while he does the edit. And that was working out really well. But now that I'm not really streaming, I'm like fully focused on YouTube. It's just kind of nice to like have it all back in my hands, at least for now, while I'm like really focused on kind of building things back up again.
I think that was actually quite a nice sort of, we preheated the grill there.
We did.
For the grill the guest section, actually. We'll get back to grilling you, Nick. But of course,
Okay.
It's the Incensed podcast. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to drop an incense.
Pop an incense inside me.
And if you happen to pull in something rather spicy, you should
Nick's
tag
gonna have a
us.
surprise tonight,
Looks like
isn't he?
Zoe.
If you pull in something that's valuable to yourself, sparkly, Hunter, or something else, you should definitely tag us on all of our social media platforms at Incensed Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, or email, or YouTube comment, or whatever you fancy.
At this point, it really doesn't matter.
Literally anything. Literally anything at this point, using our famous hashtag Shinies of the Week.
Clarify the spelling, you twat.
It's SHINIESOFTHEWEEK. And now, just sort of, we're like the mid-stage of the grill now, because we're going to throw it over to Casual Coops for Getting to Know You.
And now, children, it's time for Getting to Know You with the Incensed Podcast.
Nick, mate, I know probably thinking, please don't get me on one of them jingles. Please don't get me on one of them jingles. Unfortunately, mate, we're gonna get you on one of the jingles tonight. But no.
Somehow.
Yeah, so this,
all right.
yeah, somehow. So this is the Getting to Know You section, mates. This is where I want to know a little bit about my boys here and, of course, you. Now, this one, boys, I've gone for something a little bit different tonight, right? My question to all of you is, and Nick, I'm going to pass this one to you first, pass the baton over to you. What qualifications do you have? So this is, I don't know what it is out in the States, but, GCSEs, O-levels, degrees, diplomas. Is there anybody that, has got some sort of award, some amazing award that no one knows about? So yeah, Nick, what qualifications do you have, bro?
I have a bachelor's degree in psychology
Oh, damn.
and a 100,000 subscribers YouTube plaque somewhere on the shelf behind me.
The 1 million one soon.
Hopefully, yeah.
What colour's that one? Is that gold? Is it?
It's the gold one, yeah.
Yeah. So what was that? That's a bachelor's degree. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
Haven't used it.
Yeah, I was gonna.
You got it. It's there.
It's just framed on the wall.
Yeah, never worked in psychology, never pursued any kind of additional schooling. It was kind of like 2 years into college, my counselor told me, you can't register for classes next year unless you choose a major right now. And I was like, psychology sounds interesting. And just kind of went with it.
Ran with it.
You can use it in your videos, though.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the study of people, right? So it's somehow going to be useful no matter what you end up doing. That's what I try to say to convince myself that it was all worth it.
At least you saw it through. At least you saw it through to the end. Nick. It's like you went, I threw a dart at a dartboard, landed on something, and left after 12 months.
Yeah, I mean, education was just always like super important to my family. So like, I grew up thinking like, this is what I'm gonna do regardless. Like, no matter what, I have to go to college. So I felt like I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, but mate, at the end of the day, though, all jokes aside, like, if you ever did want to stop the YouTube thing, at least you've got a degree, right? You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that don't. So,
Yeah, totally.
Silver lining. What about you then, Marky boy? I've got a feeling this is going to be good. I'm looking forward to this answer.
I was going to say, anyone who follows that is probably going to feel quite inadequate, aren't they? I wanted to go to horticultural college. Dad said, you're not, you're going to do bloody business. And I got a diploma in business management. And I then did and this is once I was working, I did a City and Guilds sort of equivalent sort of qualification in estimating and surveying. So I'm now in construction. I've kind of used it a little bit to get now, but actually if you look at what I really do now, I don't need it now, if that makes sense. I just sell building materials to ground workers who are building projects. But I'd rather have done the gardening though. That seemed like it would have been more fun. Do I get to pick who goes after me now? Because I felt like I was...
Go on, throw the dart.
Of course you can, mate.
There's three of us
Throw
left.
the dart.
Yeah, throw the dart like Nick did. Throw it.
Yeah. Coops.
Oh, right, back to me. So why do I feel like all of your answers are going to be like, so I got this degree, never used it, but I did get the degree. And no, Milo, yours isn't allowed to be a degree in platinum medals on Pokemon.
Degree in platinum medals, love it.
So obviously, I just went to school in it, and I left at 16, year 11, and I think I got 8. I got A star to C GCSEs, which is hilarious because I actually got a D in dance. which then
D's for dance.
Because I got an A star in the practical, but I got a G in the theory because I never did any else, so that averaged out to a D, which is funny.
It's all about the practical, surely.
Oh, yeah, but you have to.
Not when it comes to education, dude.
Yeah, you have to do, don't you? It's ridiculous. You have to. Yeah. Anyway, anybody that studied dance or drama, you'll know
Anything
what I mean.
creative.
You could be like the worst actor ever, but as long as you do your coursework, you're really good. All of a sudden, your grade's really good. Yeah. From then, I went on to do 4 years at a proper dance college, and so apart from the GCSEs, I've also, like Mark, got a diploma. But if anyone cares, in dance and musical theatre. But I did actually use mine because I then had a successful dancing career for 9 years. So kind of worked out. And yeah, if my dance teacher from school that gave me a D's listening, fuck you. But anyway, my dart is over to you, Milo.
That'll be the next letter to the host. Coops, I absolutely love the podcast.
Yeah. Come on, Simon.
My degree and all my bits and pieces in terms of A-levels and GCSE are always quite creative. So I've got a BA in practical filmmaking, specialising in editing, post-production, which I have used, certainly in a sort of very mediocre freelance editing career for a couple of years, and now definitely use it on the YouTube channel and this podcast, which is quite cool. But something else that's a bit more, I don't know, maybe a bit more funny. I was told I would fail my Spanish GCSE having studied Spanish for 10 years because I was too shit.
They did say that, did they? You're going to fail it because you're shit.
It was about a month before the GCSE exam, and they were like, yeah, you're probably better to like put your time to something else. Sort of could have told me earlier. That'd have been nice.
Oh no!
Yeah, but they're not going to want to pay for you to do the exam if you're going to fail.
Exactly.
Are they? That's what it comes down to.
Exactly.
Mark, what is that in Spanish? What is that? You're really shit. What is that in Spanish? What is that? Do we know?
Quickly, Google Translate.
Yeah.
Seville.
Go on then, Ian, to wrap up the getting to know you, bro. What about you?
I'm going to level with you. I really regret it, but I didn't go to college, university. I really regret that now. I did do further education in the form of kind of like Mark, the business of finance diploma, which a lot of people kind of pushed into when they left school back in the day. My education didn't really stop there because I am a fully qualified UK transport manager. Obviously, kind of need that for my job. And I am a fully qualified PADI IDC staff instructor as well, which is something else I'm very proud of. So you're never too old to keep learning.
I'm trying to keep up. You threw out a bunch of letters. GCSE. You lost me there. I got just pretend like I know what that means.
It's like high school diploma, isn't it, in the States?
Yeah, I guess so.
So I'm gonna take the grill from its medium stage because we're doing a grill analogy as we've got to this point, haven't we? I've almost felt like I've taken that over.
Keep it going. Yeah.
From you boys, keep it going. We're gonna crank it up now.
Crank it up and throw the meat on.
We're gonna turn it up, throw the meat on.
Insert sizzle sound effects.
Am I the meat?
You're the meat, Nick.
Yeah, you are, Nick. Yeah. We didn't put that in the notes to you, so. Dear God. Did that sound as awful as it sounded there? Did it?
We use the jingle so infrequently, we forget how terrible it is.
So yeah, we're at the grill the guest section. All it is, we're going to throw a few questions at you, Nick, and he wants us to get to know a little bit more about you and allow our listeners to maybe just understand you even more from what we've already spoken about already. So I want to go off the bat, actually. I've got a question that I think one of you is going to ask. I want to get in first.
Go for it.
So, Nick, we talked a little bit about like almost 9 to 5 Twitch. Turn your computer off and actually have a life. Still got a life, but in that sense that you've down tools and you can take a break from it all. But Ian mentioned about your trailer, and I think that was one of the things that kept me going, I'd say, during the pandemic, was your work you did on the trailer. I'm an outdoorsy person. I love going out camping, but I like the fact that you put your own personal time and effort into it, create something wonderful. And obviously the horrific story of it getting taken, unfortunately, been retrieved. You still got it, haven't you, mate? It hasn't gone again, has it?
It's good. Yeah, I managed to keep it this time.
Phew. Have you got an adventure in the trailer planned coming up in the near future? Have you got something planned?
Very, very near future. I'm actually driving to Seattle.
Oh my God.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, with the trailer. So I'm excited for it. I mean, the summer's like obviously the best time to take it out, and I think like late April, Pokemon Go just dumped like a ton of event announcements on us, and I was like, well, there goes my summer. Between that and like the several festivals that I had already bought tickets for. Yeah, so I figure like the only way I'm going to be able to like really take it out during the summer is if I like make it work with all the events. So yeah, for GO-Fest Seattle, I'm driving up. I want to stop at Olympic National Park / Forest, either before or after. Still trying to figure out the logistics. Yes, I have a trip planned very soon. Maybe as soon as a week from now.
That's gonna be like a nice sort of lead up to Seattle GO-Fest.
Yeah. What's the sort of distance, Nick, from you to Seattle then? What's that sort of in?
The distance, I was just trying to plan this out because I'm picking up my cousin on the way. And here, I'll just tell you this right now.
Live.
From Long Beach. Great time for my internet to be slow. It's a 19-hour drive, 1,159 miles. And it's going to be a lot longer than that with like the detours, the camp stops, driving through parks and stuff. And then I have to drive like 20% slower when I'm towing. So it takes even longer.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's so worth it. Like, it's so fun.
You got to make the most of it.
So you're setting off after this recording, are you? Then you're
right
off.
Away. Yeah. Yeah.
He's all packed.
Oh my God, I haven't even done laundry since getting back from Germany.
You have to install a washing machine in there then, mate. You know,
God, yeah.
I'm going to throw it back, as chatted with you briefly in Sevilla about trance music and stuff. I want to throw it back a little bit to when you popped over to London to visit the Anjuna kitchen.
Yeah.
That was epic, seeing that on the vlog and stuff. But like, do you still have sort of like some contact and stuff with Above and Beyond nowadays? I know you got ability to use some bits and pieces of music as well in some videos.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the main thing. Is just being able to use the music. Like, my channel is whitelisted and I have access to a huge discography repository. I almost said suppository. I don't have access to a huge suppository. A bunch of music from the label that I can just use. And I was just at Anjuna Deep Explorations, the festival that they did. Yeah, so I mean, I haven't had like really a ton of contact, but since that visit to the office, I did a video for the Gorge when I drove up with friends. We road tripped all the way up to Washington. To near Seattle. I guess I'm kind of recreating that coming up because we are going to the Gorge right after GO-Fest to see Above and Beyond again. Yeah. So I still have like the relationships and the contacts. A few people that I've met that worked in the office aren't there anymore. But yeah, I mean, I think like I would like to do something. I've been trying to figure out like, is there something I could do around this upcoming trip to the Gorge? And I just think it's probably, I don't want to set myself up for failure by having just way too much work coming off of GO-Fest weekend and then straight into something else. Trying to keep it fun. That little festival
you gotta
trip.
Enjoy the festival, not make it about work, I guess.
But there is ABGT 500 I think we have coming up in LA. So I might try to reach out and see if there's some way we could work together with the label on that. And even since then, like independently of that, Spencer Brown, who releases on Anjuna Beats, just reached out to me and was like, hey, do you want some music to use? Completely separate from the label.
Oh, nice.
And I ended up using one of his albums to soundtrack my Celebi videos, like that trip when I went to Japan. For Mew, for Celebi, for those, I guess, storyline videos for like the special research. I kind of like to have like a bit of a through line with the music and just kind of use stuff from the same artist, so it kind of ties it all together. That was really cool. And then I've gotten to do some really cool things with the label. Like I was on the boat in Hong Kong for the Deep warm-up party. So there's been some really cool stuff. I still have a little bit of contact. I get to use music, which is great.
It is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like that was a crazy moment for me, was like when that all started happening, because I literally just asked in the video, just kind of threw it out there, like, if anyone knows James Grant, let me know. And like a week later I had the email. Like I couldn't believe it. It was crazy.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
And look, listen, this has got Nothing against trance music and above and beyond, but my question, I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. Nick, you know, in your videos, in your content, you know, since day one, you've always said exactly how you felt. You've never held back. You've just given an honest opinion, and I'm not saying that other people out there, you know, are bumlicks, because I understand how the world works. I get it, but you know, you've always really just said how you feel, and you've always took into consideration, let's just say, the general public's opinion of the game. What has been your relationship like with Niantic from when you first started to sort of now throughout the pandemic? Has it been more of a recent thing that, you know, that they've really started wanting to help you? You know, did it used to be good and now it's not? If you don't mind, what's your relationship like with them?
For the first entire year that Pokemon Go existed, there was like zero acknowledgement. A lot of the YouTubers at the time, me, Mystic7, Reversal, we all kind of talked about it like, oh, when is Niantic gonna do anything with us? I even made a video where I like tried to sneak into their office. Yeah, that was and then funny enough, like years later when I was actually invited into the office and met like a lot of people at the company, one of them was like, yeah, I remember you. You snuck in and like you were trying to ask me for contacts. It's like, oh my god, that was you. I'm sorry, but also like I'm sure you understand.
How do you know where the toilets are? You're like,
no one knows where the canteen is. Come on.
Yeah.
The first email came like before the first Go-Fest, and it was such a surprise that like right away Reversal texted me and he's like, yo, did you get this? And we were trying to figure out if it's legit, and they invited us to Go-Fest, and from there it kind of gradually got better. I think the next 2018 Go-Fest was when we did the summer tour.
Yeah, I think so.
If I have my timeline right. And that was like such a fun project to work on.
It was a good year that, bro, for the game. A really good year for the game that was. Yeah,
I think that was like one of the best for sure. Yeah, and I mean since then there's been other work, contact. We've had the ability to like share feedback pretty directly, and that's nice, but also it almost becomes a bit of a problem that like people know that, because then there's like an extra expectation of like now people view me as having like some elevated level of influence. Like I can actually like get a ready button into raids just because I get to send messages occasionally to like the marketing team at Niantic.
I guess it's the misinterpretation, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And it's hard too because
just quickly,
like,
is that coming, by the way? What year did you ask them that? When's that coming?
I'm actually I'm planning on making a video of like updates that are definitely never coming to Pokemon Go, and that's probably going to be one of them.
Yeah. Can it be number one? Can you?
Sure. I'll lead with it.
Yeah. This one's for the boys. You're never getting this.
Yeah, please stop asking me. The relationship's good. Obviously, like there was like public Liz, you all remember Liz, the community manager who left the company, and it was all kind of public. Like there's been a lot of people leaving the company, so like the relationships are constantly like, kind of starting over. I'll say it's like it's okay right now. There's been times where I've questioned like, well, what do I really get out of this relationship? Like getting the news a little bit early is fine. I don't know. It's all right. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to like be able to share the feedback and stuff.
Yeah. Just out of interest, what is the timeline on that? Is it 24 hours? Is it 2-3 weeks before? What? Just out of interest, because no one's ever.
It's a couple days at most.
Okay,
like,
cool.
A good lead time would be like 3 days.
Okay, cool. Fair enough.
Okay, so we talked earlier in the pre-grilling about a little bit of travel. Obviously, we know that your bag, Nick, is travel. That's what you love to do. So now we've had Gio on, we've had Zoe on, we've had a few people on, and we've asked everybody what their favourite adventure has been. What was your best time doing this thing?
Oh man, I mean, yeah, the answer is always like when people ask what's your favorite place you've been to, it's always Japan. I've been back 5 times. Like it's such an amazing place. My favorite adventure, probably the Celebi adventure. As far as like an actual adventure for me, going to like the west side of Japan by myself, going to a couple places that like I'd really wanted to visit, just like putting together that whole story, that narrative, just having that starting in the Redwoods, which is like one of my favorite places to go here. That was a big one for me. But honestly, this most recent trip to Europe, probably one of the best trips I've been on. Not necessarily from like a content standpoint, but like as a trip. I don't know if it was just after 2 years of not being able to do it, but like starting with the festival, being there with friends, going to Greece, going to Meteora, which is another place that was like kind of just found out about it during the pandemic. To be able to go there, like this whole trip was, I just felt so grateful for it. And I think that played a big part in just how good it was. But yeah, definitely Japan.
Did you actually get to go up to the monasteries?
We went into one monastery. It was kind of late by the time we got up there, and it was really interesting. You know, you have to cover your knees, cover your shoulders. And there were other ones, bigger ones that I think would be really cool that a lot of people were like, yeah, you should go to this one. There wasn't a lot of time to do all of that, but I think looking at it from the outside was more inspiring for me. Just the landscape of it is crazy, and then to see the buildings built on top of these cliffs 800 years ago, it's such a crazy place.
That's when you were born, Ian, wasn't it?
It was close.
Wait, what was that? I missed it.
No, I said, is that when you were born, Ian? Yeah.
He's a getting Ian. He's a getting
He'll get there one day. I mean, he's not that far behind us, Mark.
He's not. I love how Ian always wrestles me into it as
Yeah,
well.
he
So
does,
it's-
doesn't he?
You're only like
Yeah.
2 years younger than me.
Okay.
Also, I'm only like 2 years older than Milo as well, aren't I, Milo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Milo's 22, isn't he, Milo?
I look that
Milo's
fresh.
12.
Yeah,
Fresh, do I?
Nick, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? How old are you, mate?
I'm 32.
32. Okay, cool.
Yep. I think it surprises people sometimes.
Yeah. I would have thought you was a bit older. No, I'm joking.
No, not in that way.
Oh, no, I'm messing. Mark, do you say how old am I?
Yeah.
Get ready to fire a shot back at me, Nick. No, I'm 28.
28. He isn't 28, is he? He can't be 28.
Well, what does that mean? What, you think I'm older?
I thought you were 35, Coops.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off.
That's just the grey hairs that are popping through.
Okay, and enough.
It's the stress of not making content.
Yeah.
Nick, this is a funny question, and I'm going to try and dress this question up in a way that will set the scene for you. Okay, here we go. Right, so all your washing's done. You got your house clear, your plants are green again, all packed up. The trailer is loaded. You're going to go off to Seattle. You've got a fun adventure on the way, though, and there's going to be an element where you're on your own before you pick your cousin up. Because for this purpose, you need to be on your own for this to work. You're on the road. Could be going to like a impromptu festival. Could be just a walk in the parkland somewhere. You need someone there to basically have your back. And you need a wingman or wingwoman there with you to turn it into like the most amazing night ever. It would be easy if it was a person, but it's not going to be a person, Nick. It's going to be a Pokemon. And you need to pick your Pokemon wing person. That's probably the right terminology for it. We've had some great answers in the past. Reversals was comical. Zoe went regional with her one. There's no rush, Nick, but if you could pick a Pokemon to sort of just turn it into a wild type, who would you pick?
Oh my god. What Pokemon loves to party? Great question. Wow. Yeah. Look around, see who's here.
Yeah, who's in the background?
Snorlax probably not coming out.
Got to say, great for when you get home, though. That's a big bed. That's a big bed.
Yes. I gotta put a cowboy hat on him.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. What Pokemon am I partying with?
If you want, mate, you can have the whole next hour and we'll just edit in your answer at the end.
Yeah, if you have like a moment
Perfect.
further down the recording, you think of one, then we can just put it in. So,
Oh my god. A good wingman and or woman or wing genderless Pokemon. Maybe Ditto. Ditto could get up to anything, really, right? Is that a cop out of an answer?
No.
Using the
cool.
Pokemon for its purpose.
Yeah.
You could literally have Ditto become anything. Great party trick, so it would be fun for people.
Oh, because if you're like trying to talk to someone, he could transform into them and be like, "Oh my god, this is so cool."
Yeah, go ahead, talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Ditto. Yeah, I'm gonna go with ditto.
It's a good way to get out of a conversation.
Right? That's true. As an introvert, sometimes I have more fun on my own. So I have ditto turn into me, finish the conversation, and I go back to the trailer to sleep.
Sounds great.
Ian, I can see your cogs turning. You was thinking I could have ditto, to have a threesome. I can see your cogs turning.
So with me.
Oh dear God!
I never thought that.
Why the fuck you lying?
Oh dear.
Good answer, Nick. First ditto we've had on that one, so very good, mate.
I'm glad.
Let's throw another one at you, Nicker. And this one takes you right back to the beginning. So before Pokemon Go was a thing, but you had your own channel and you were doing a little bit of content on there. But what kind of gave you the spark? Was it just that you heard Pokemon Go was going to be a thing? So you thought, you know what, I'm going to get into that? Or take us through that initial steps of trainer tips.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. So I heard about it and I was excited. I think it was September of 2015 when that trailer first came out. And like shortly afterwards, there was like an interview with John Hankey or someone who said, if you want to catch them all, you're going to have to travel. Basically hinting at regional Pokemon. And at the time I was like broke. Living at my dad's house, trying to figure out what I was doing with my life. And I was working with my cousin on his YouTube channel, just filming and editing for him. So I was around YouTube a lot. I was watching a lot of YouTube. I was watching a lot of Casey Neistat at the time, obviously. So when they said, when they said you're gonna have to travel, I was like, well, the only way I'm really gonna potentially make that happen is if I do YouTube. I make a YouTube channel, and if it takes off, then I can travel. And that was kind of the start of it. Was like, well, maybe this will work. I've seen it work for other people. I'm around this space a lot right now. It's fun. It's creative. I left my job because I wanted to do something more creative. So it was kind of just like maybe it'll work. And that was really where it started.
And it did, yeah.
I think it worked.
I think so.
Yeah.
Rather well.
Yeah, it's crazy, honestly.
What was it like when you posted that first video and you were thinking, hold on, this should be getting 1 or 2 views? What's going on? Like, what? Be honest, what did that feel like? I know it was a long time ago, but how did it feel when you were like, holy shit, I didn't expect this?
I had a plan going into it, leading up to the launch. I had a plan where I'm like, okay, we're going to start doing daily, because that was the thing at the time. Like, daily vlogs were like the biggest thing on YouTube. So if we're going to make this channel work, it has to be daily. And I was basically prepared. I'd already played the game. I was in the beta test. Like, they did a kind of a second round of beta where a lot of it was focused around LA. I think because they just wanted to have a lot of people in the same area for server testing, maybe for like gyms and interactive features. So I like knew my way around the game a little bit already. So the plan was just like, day one, make the video with everything that I know that gives as much information as possible, because I know people are gonna be searching how to play Pokemon Go. So I knew that was the title. I knew that was the video. So it drops and I like drop everything, film the video, didn't sleep that night, spend the entire night editing. It's almost like a 30-minute video, which is ridiculous. And then I went camping.
Do you hear that, Milo? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. 30-minute videos are ridiculous.
No, but Milo thinks 30 minutes is ridiculous because that's far too short.
That's too short, yeah.
That's a smaller scale.
Oh, sorry, bro. Carry on.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I left like on a camping trip with my family, and I was in the forest with like no cell service, no internet connection, and came back to see it kind of picking up, and it picked up slowly, and then it was just faster and faster, and I was shocked, but also like proud, like I had this kind of plan going into it, and it was working, and it was just really encouraging.
Yeah, excited for the next one. Made you want to edit, made you want to post, made you want to film.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people getting into content can kind of get lose motivation if it's like not picking up the way that they wanted to, and I think I was super lucky that it took off so quickly, because it just gave me this like huge burst of energy. I mean, I basically didn't sleep for the first 2 or 3 months that the game came out, because I was just so focused and so excited, and then that can't last. But yeah, it picked up quickly, and it was great time.
How quickly did you hit 100k subs?
Oh god, I don't even remember. I think The first video upload was like February 2016, and it was maybe like 10, 12 videos, pre-launch videos. And from February to July, I think the channel was like 2,500 subscribers. And then I want to say like in the next 2 months, it was like 250,000.
Jeez. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's quick, bro.
It was crazy. Yeah.
I can't even begin to imagine how that would have felt seeing so many hits come into something, because I would have been doing exactly the same thing back then. How do you play it?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Like 2016, everyone that did YouTube was doing Pokemon Go videos, whether they were tech creators, travel creators, gamers, everyone was doing it.
Yeah.
I remember it. God, I don't know if it was 2017 or 18, but I was doing Bodyguard the musical in Vienna, and it was so funny. Whenever you would post a video, bro, like I don't know what time. It must have been maybe midday afternoon. It must have been, because it was about 10, 11 o'clock ish, kind of, change. But every night I used to go from the show, shower, eat, and I'd get into bed with my girlfriend at the time. And obviously, like, she'd hear your intro and she'd go, "Are you watching his fucking video again?" And I'd be like, and it'll be like my evening routine. I'd watch your video every single night, and then when you didn't, post one on a random Thursday, I'd be like, "No, I've got to talk to her." No, I'm joking.
Fucking hell.
Oh, the amount of significant others that I have annoyed with that music is... It's great. I hear it all the time.
So do you really? Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, isn't it? Because you're one of the few creators that actually has a theme tune. I think you do, Billy does, but not many people have a theme tune.
I actually stopped using it. I haven't used it in a while.
Yeah. You've not sent the drone up. That's why.
I know. It's part of the we're in the TikTok era of content.
Short videos, yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, the retention graphs.
What did Milo say then?
He went, "Oh god."
Yeah, man. I mean, look, there's definitely still an audience for like longer form content, and I love making it, but yeah, the retention graphs hate intros. And honestly, the reason that I initially stopped using it was because I got a new laptop and I started traveling right away, and I just didn't have those files with me on the new computer. But then I noticed the difference in the retention. I was like, I don't know. It'll make a comeback at some point for special occasions.
Yeah, why don't you just do it at the end of the video? Why don't you do it as an outro?
That's still, the algorithm's crazy. The drop off at the end. Okay, I just recently watched like a Mr. Beast video. And I've probably seen like the Squid Games and maybe like one other video. But the pace of what's doing well on YouTube it's actually like ridiculous. There's no outro at all. Like the video just ends, and that's what keeps people clicking. I don't know.
It's the feeding into another video. That's what it is. It just goes one bang straight to the next.
Yeah, and that's like, I've learned something that the algorithm really cares about is, can you not just keep people watching through a video, but like keep people watching content on the platform?
Video. Yeah.
I don't know. It's something that I've like battled with on a principle level. Like, how much time do I really want to take up from people? How much do I want to like feed into this? Stay here, watch this. Yeah, so I'm trying to kind of do it in my own way. If I can make videos I care about, that I feel good about, then I'm okay pushing that. But like, I haven't even been tweeting my videos because I just don't want people's notifications going off. Like, find it when you find it. I don't want to like take you away from something else that you're doing just because something popped up on your phone.
But do you like, as a creator, do you find that like difficult? Because like, for example, we've had Pokédaxi on, and that come up is incredible. There's no other word to describe it apart from incredible. And the boys will take the piss out of me because I really do like him, and I really do. But is it hard for you, because like you've said, the videos that are 2-3 minutes long that say, this is the event, this is what's happening, this is the start date, this is the end date, and that's the end of the video. Because that's not kind of you as a person and as a creator, but that those type of videos do well, and that's kind of what people want in 2022. Do you find that quite conflicting to kind of like not deal with, because it's it's not therapy, but you know what I mean? Do you like, you're kind of like, no, but I don't like doing that type of stuff, but it's also hard to make. How do you make a Pokemon Go vlog 3 minutes long? Like you just can't. You just physically can't. So does that get into your head?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely a factor. Like, like I said earlier, I'm having fun kind of relearning YouTube. And as much as I don't really care too much for the move to like really, really short form content, like I'm holding out. I'm refusing to start doing TikTok for so many reasons. But,
I think you could do the whoa though, bro. A little. No.
Yeah. Yeah, the short form stuff. I mean, it's part of it, you know? Like, I try to look at it as like it's part of the job. And it is nice, like I was saying, to have the work-life separation. So if I can make an event video that takes me an hour, 2 hours to like research, film, edit, whatever, then I get the rest of my day, or I get more time to work on something else. And I'm happier like making those short videos, even though it's not, you know, what I love to make. I'm happier doing that than like sitting here saying no, crossing my arms and going, no, I don't want to make that, so I'm not going to, and then watching the channel like die.
Yeah.
Because that's what was happening. That's what was happening up until this kind of reinvigoration. I was like, I can't keep making these announcement videos. I can't keep making these news videos. I hate doing this. The views just kept getting lower and lower and lower. And I'm like, wow, who knew? If you don't make YouTube videos, no one's going to watch your YouTube channel. It's part of the job. People come to the channel for information, and I'm happy to provide it. And it also just makes the rest of it possible. Making those videos, and obviously the ad revenue that comes with it, helps fund trips. Like, I just spent 3 weeks in Europe. If I wasn't making news videos, that would be like a terrible, terrible financial decision. It just kind of feeds into like being able to make what I really want to make and having people who are going to come watch that. Because if I don't upload a video for a while, you know, less people come back. And when I get to something where I'm like really happy with it, something that I really care about and want to share, it's nice to have people around who are going to watch it. So yeah, it's all part of it. It's got its positives and negatives, but I think overall I'm okay with it.
Interesting for sure.
Thanks, Nick. I think that certainly the audience and we've got to know you a lot better, and a little bit about your sort of process.
Thoroughly grilled.
Thoroughly grilled.
Well done.
Well done.
Well done. Yeah, we wanted medium rare, but you know, never mind.
Yeah, send it back.
We botched it.
But speaking of botching things, it's going to be over to Milo to explain the rules and lead us into chasing the tail.
Chasing the tail, chasing the tail. Tail to chase, it's chasing the tail.
This is going to be a gin-infused explanation of the game, so let's see how this goes. So, Nick, chasing the tail, it's a word association game. We'll go around the room. Person will start with the name of a Pokemon. The following person's Pokemon must have the same letter beginning as the previous Pokemon ends in. So if I was to say Celebi, someone else would say Illumise.
Well
Is
done,
that,
Milo.
is
well
that, is
done.
that clear?
Well done, mate.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Clear.
It's more an achievement explaining the game than winning it every 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's also no repetitions and no pauses. So we give it's like 2 or 3 seconds for a decision, so it's quite quick fire. And the order will be, I'll start, Coops, Nick, Ian, Mark. All right, well, the beginning Pokemon is Trico.
Omanite.
Espeon.
Noibat.
Tepig.
Geodude.
Electabuzz.
Zapdos.
Cyndaquil? No. Oh.
Hold on. Did you say Cyndaquil as for an S? You did, didn't you?
Do over? Everybody else has had one.
Round 2.
No, I'm out.
Oh, Ian is donezo. Commiserations. But you get to pick the next beginning one. So
Yes, you do.
the loser starts the next round, and then we proceed in the same order.
Okay, so Masterful 27, your Pokemon is Snorlax.
Xerneas.
Sylveon.
Nidoqueen.
Nidoking.
Golett.
Teddiursa.
Aerodactyl.
Lileep.
Oh, Pikachu. He didn't count.
Oh god, he was a practice round, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Ursaring.
Go there. Fuck. No. Oh, I meant to say Gollum. Oh, God.
I thought you were going to say Gollum and it was safe.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have
Say
continued
it,
the
Coops.
word.
I really wanted to fucking win tonight.
Oh, you said it, you couldn't get it back in. You're like, oh, fuck.
All right, who's after me? Nick. Okay.
It's Nick. Oof.
Because I'm out, I'm going to give you a really tough one. Trainer tips. Your Pokemon is Ditto.
Oh, my star.
Oh.
Raikou.
Unknown.
Nidorino.
Onyx.
Zatu.
Nope.
I left it as long as I could.
I felt so bad. We've had every single one, basically. We've got no Pokemon. Like,
We've got
all
nothing
of
left
our
here, have we,
favourites
Milo?
that we use every single time, we're fucked. So, Nick, you start off, and then Mark, you're following.
Okay, I'll start with the U that I just thought of. Good luck. Urshifu.
Woobat.
It was a U. It ends in U.
Oh,
Oh, not W. Was I wrong, Nick?
Oh, Nick got you.
You Milo, you win.
that's unlucky because I had no idea what to write for or say for T. Not a clue.
That's not in Pokemon Go, Nick. That's not playing in the spirit of the game.
It's not our fault that we don't understand other generations, but
I was going to say, Mark, if it feels better, I thought it was the name of a refrigerator company, bruv. I had no idea. I was like, what was that?
Well, one Milo. Great. That was good. That was a good.
that was a cracking round of chasing the tail, boys.
GG's, boys.
Very impressive. It was like the longest game
fun.
we've had. My goodness me.
Nick, what was it? What was that Pokemon? What is it?
Urshifu. It's in Sword and Shield. It's the Sword and Shield DLC.
Okay. Please bring to Pokemon Go so we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Nick, you're so nonchalant there. You were just like, oh, it's Sword and Shield. You know, it's that one, and we're both going. Sword and Shield? What's that?
I think none of the rest of us have got that far, have we?
Yeah, honestly, I probably wouldn't know it if it weren't for stream, because it's been tough for me to play the new main series games.
That's Zamazenta and Zacian, right?
Yeah, Sword and Shield, yeah.
Ooh, do you like that, boys? Ooh.
To your Argos catalogue
Paid
open.
attention.
Anyway, gentlemen, as you all know, Marky Boy and Nick have just come back from, last weekend, they've just come back from Berlin GO-Fest. Obviously, from social media and from the videos, as always, as any sort of GO-Fest or Safari Zone, it looked seriously great. It looked absolutely amazing. Obviously, me, Ian, and Milo weren't there. Milo was at the F1. And what were you doing, Ian? What were you up to?
I was editing last week's podcast all weekend.
An important job.
And we thank you for it.
What were you doing, Coops?
His girlfriend.
It's also an important job.
Hanging out with my own GO-Fest. Not that that made any sense at all. But yeah, gents, talk to us. Give us a recap. How was it? How was it being there in person? What was it like? I know, Mark, we joked about the spawns, but what was it really, really, really like? So, boys, I want to pass it over to you two, and I think the listeners, if they didn't attend, I think they'd love to know as well. So, like I said, Nick, it's a perfect time to have you on to have a 5-minute chat about Berlin.
Great. I mean, I had a great time. Like, I got 7 shinies, which I think was probably in the bottom 2% of shiny counts for the entire weekend. And I still, I had a great time, you know? The in-person events are just... There's a whole other dimension to them that you really miss out on with, a global Go-Fest. You get to hang out with a few friends, but, being there and getting to meet so many people is such an underrated part of it, I think. And it's something that you don't really understand until you go there and experience it. And obviously for me, I had 2 hours of a meet and greet every day. So I'm literally spending time with the people who support me. And that's just super rewarding to hear stories. A lot of times emotional stories. There's a lot of really, really touching, impactful, moving moments that come out of that for me. And obviously I know that my experience is vastly different from 99% of the people who are playing the event, but I think you still, regardless, you still get that kind of I ran into someone from some random country and traded something and heard this story, and you just get to like relate to people and bond over things. And I think that's something that I've always enjoyed kind of sharing and promoting in my content. I think it's something I think is like really important for humans in general. And on top of that, like, they picked good Pokemon for the spawns. Like, the no community day spawns was who knew they could make an event great.
And it almost seemed like they was giving away the shiny unknowns. Everybody seemed to get them.
Yeah, the top of the hour, the first 2 minutes of every hour, every spawn would just change to unknown. And it was
that looked incredible.
Crazy. It was fun. It was like a fun thing to prepare for. You know, you're like 5 minutes till and everyone's running to try to get to a good spot with like a ton of spawn points to just shiny check as many unknown as you can. It made it like a really fun thing. So I'm sure they'll do that for the rest of the Go-Fest, but I think it would be really cool for like future events, even just regular in-game events. I think could benefit from something like that.
Yeah, like a 2-minute hotspot.
Yeah, because Seville was the first time they introduced it, wasn't it, with Corfish?
Yeah.
And it was a nice surprise because, like you said, you start the event 9 o'clock or whatever time your ticket starts, and you just got unknowns everywhere, don't you? And you're like a bit like, what? Right, okay, wow, what's happened here? And then you, people have no idea. Like, then it's like, this happens every hour. And I think, like you said, Nick, I think everybody had that same game plan. 5-2, 10-2. Let's get to a point where there's loads of spawn point. You can see the park almost moving, couldn't you, to these spots?
Yeah.
The fact that you could do the unknown trick, a lot of people did that. Trying to get a shiny, waited for it to change to an unknown, and then got the shiny off the back of it when it switched spawns. I chickened out. I got one that I kind of needed with 4 minutes waiting, and I went, I need this one. Oh.
Yeah.
You know, we've had some great global events. Us boys together, you know, we've got communities together and we've played events and they've been great. But I think it just took it up another level. And, you know, exactly what you said, Coops. They didn't reveal too much. They didn't show their hands on all the spawns. But by God, they didn't disappoint with them. Like you said, there was no Com Day spawns in there. There was none of these ones you were going for. You know,
we've had this 75 times before.
And they just managed to nail it. And it felt like every biome presented opportunities. It certainly felt like that for me. And people like going, oh my God, Mantine's spawned. Oh, you can hear it. Everyone's like, and Nick, how did you end up with 7 over 3 days? Surely, because you got your unknowns pretty early, didn't you, bud? I saw you.
No, seven was my 1 day total. My actual like play day. I did get a few more over the next couple days. That was fine. But like, you know, I tried to like stay kind of true to the typical experience, which is playing 1 day, even though, you know, as a content creator, I'm there 3 days. I have to be there for meet and greet. So like I am at the park multiple days. I do get to see the spawns. I think for me, like, I don't care too much about those other 2 days. This might surprise some people, but I don't really care all that much about shinies. Like, having them doesn't necessarily do anything for me. I'm not a collector. It's not why I play the game. So ending up with 7, but like getting to meet hundreds of people is just a way better experience. But as far as shiny rate goes, I don't know why I had bad luck. I think it just happens. You know, it happens once in a while. It's just probability.
I feel like it does always happen to you, though.
I guess I'm just too casual.
Yeah, join the club.
Great cues, Nick. We saw each other briefly on Friday. It was my game day on the Saturday. And then I saw you up at the creator tent a bit on the Saturday as well. And it was great to see queues of people, wasn't it? And you know, everyone just buzzing that moment. Like you said, saw from your vlogs and that, you could just see it wasn't just a sign a picture and go. There was conversations being had, wasn't there? There were moments.
Yeah.
Just walking around the park, you know, as a very small content creator, having people coming up and recognising you and wanting to talk to you was amazing in itself. And I think when you do things in your own backyard with people, you know, when you experience that in a different setup, it really gives that little warm sense of something. I don't quite know what it is. It's not even about sort of what people want to speak to me. It's just the fact you can have an honest and really genuine conversation with someone, and it can be about anything. And this game's brought people together to put them in that position, which is the bit I love the most about it. And I'm pleased you didn't treat it like a shiny hunt, because you said you weren't going to do that again after Seville. So I'm pleased you stayed true to that, mate, and made it more about the experience. Go-Fest are better than Safari Zone.
Oh, yeah.
Even though Safari Zones are great. 20,000 in that park, apparently, on Saturday.
Yeah.
Really?
It felt like
God.
It was crazy. Shoulder to shoulder on a lot of the walking paths.
Goodness.
Can you believe, Nick, all those shoulder touches and, you know, no one else's shiny luck rubbed off on you?
Oh man.
Nick can unfriend you as quickly as he friends
Yeah, I
you.
know.
You do that.
I only need him for the thumbnail.
Yeah, if you had your way, Nick, when I saw you on Friday, you'd been out that park at 1 o'clock when you got your Snorlax. You were like twitching. You were going, right, I've got the thumbnail. I can go.
Yeah. Oh my
There
god.
seemed, from what we saw on the videos and vlogs, there seemed to be so many Snorlax spawning in that area. It just seemed crazy.
Yeah, I think this is probably the first time Snorlax has had any kind of boost to its shiny rate. You know, it's always been like base rate, 1 in 500 or whatever it approximately is. This is definitely the first time that there's been a boost. So I think most people who like spent a decent amount of time in that habitat trying to get it probably ended up getting at least one.
And if you don't mind, Nick, talking about spending a specific amount of time in a habitat, let's segue that into it's going to be Seattle in a couple of weeks, and it's half and half. So you've got half a day in the park, half a day out in the city, so people aren't going to be able to grind a specific location quite as much. So what are your thoughts to this new idea of what GO-Fest is going to be compared to the OG that has just been Berlin?
Personally, I love it. Some of the best event experiences that I've had have been just walking around a city. So I think in Taiwan, that might have been one of the first times that they did it. And it was out of, actually, a Dortmund. There was a Dortmund and a Taiwan where they did it out of necessity because so many people were in the parks that the event was at that they were having all kinds of issues with cell service. So to alleviate that, they just expanded the event to the entire city and said, you can go anywhere. You're going to get the event spawns. You don't have to come to the park and clog up the networks. Those were like some of the most fun events because you really were just in a place, a new place, exploring rather than being confined to a certain area. And I mean, you kind of miss out on the sort of running into people. There's obviously still a lot of people playing, but you're not as concentrated, so you're not running into people as much. But just getting to like walk around a new place and enjoy the event, I like it more than being in a park.
No, I completely agree with you because I was at that Dortmund one and it was so sick. I'm pretty sure I was at the one that you're talking about and expanding it.
2018, right?
2018,
yeah. I'm making it. I don't know why I've got Swablu in my head, but
Oh, that was the future spawn.
yeah,
it was.
Back in the day, that was so good. Honestly, I totally agree with you. I think the fact I didn't even actually know they were doing that for the Seattle, but that is a dub for Niantic. That's it. Honestly, I remember it, and everyone that I was with, I think it was like 3 or 4 of us. We just loved it from start to finish. Genuinely.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who come in for a GO-Fest, come in for one day to play the event and leave. Like I've talked to so many people during meet and greets and just running into them in the park. I'm like, oh, when are you heading home? And they're like, tonight, right after the event. They don't even have time to like be a tourist or like go see anything in the city. So to have the event, to be able to play the event and do that at the same time, I think is kind of a winning recipe because so much of Pokemon Go is really like what happens outside the game. The people that you meet, the places that you go. I mean, it just makes sense, I think. So I hope that people will enjoy it as much as I did.
Have you been to Seattle before, Nick?
Yeah, a few times, yeah.
So you got an idea of what you want to do, where you want to go?
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to
roam.
go, but yeah, just wander.
You're sitting at Burger King or Mackie D's, weren't you, Nick, for 2 hours
my
in the
God.
city?
We'll see you in the Space Needle.
Starbucks. That's where you're going in, aren't
Well,
you? For 4
I am,
hours
but I
sitting
did
up
some
there?
research, and the Starbucks, the original Starbucks in Pike Place, has only got about 10 seats in it, so that you're queuing to get in
Yeah,
that
it's
place.
a bit of a tourist trap, I think. I don't know if it's really that interesting.
You can photograph yourself from outside. I went there.
like-
I don't need to go in.
Thumbs up.
That sort of
Yeah.
thing. But in that format, I sort of agree because Seattle was my first time in Seattle, going to that GO-Fest, second time ever to the States. But Berlin has such a rich history, so much culture. It's almost a shame that they didn't trial something with that. I know it's because German parks are sort of under lock and key and they're gated and everything, so it's a different format. But Berlin would have been a brilliant city.
Yeah, no, that would have been great for Berlin. I think part of it is probably that the park was just so far from the
that's
city.
also
I was
true.
going to say that, it's a long way from the city. A long way from the
Yeah,
city.
we were staying in the city center, and like one day it took us over an hour to get to the park just because of like traffic. But yeah, I think that would have been amazing for Berlin because a huge part of this Go-Fest experience for me was just being in Berlin. Like I had this, I talked about it a lot in a video that I made, like a kind of profound experience going to the historical sites, the wall, and like thinking about how this city was literally divided, and now 30 years later we have this event that's bringing people together.
Yeah.
And it was inspiring. Like it gave me this sense of hope for the future of humanity. It was a whole thing for me. And I showed up at the park feeling really, really grateful to like be a part of it and like have this experience that we're all kind of sharing, coming together. I think that's like when the game is at its best, when it's really bringing people together like that. So yeah, I hope people had some time to at least walk around a little bit in Berlin.
On the back of Berlin, I'm very much looking forward to Seattle, along with Ian and a bunch of other people. Hopefully it's a similar awesome experience, but it's time to have the jingle with the voice that Mark loves to hear most. It's time for the news.
Is the news.
He's coming back. The boy's coming. He's returning.
It's coming, Nick. We're going to get you to
Please, we
record
need 'em.
something.
Okay.
I love reversal. He's a good lad.
There we go. There we go. Having segued into the news, the only real bit of news we've got is the beta for Campfire, Niantic's social app. I've got access to it. Ian, you've got access to it. Nick, do you,
Nick's
you
on
have
it.
access
Yep,
to
Nick's on
it?
I do, yes.
Coops definitely doesn't.
I don't even know what we're fucking talking about, to be honest.
You can get another Stella, mate. It's okay.
What is it? Is it from the App Store? What even is
No,
it?
you can't get it yet, Coops.
No, it's linked with either Ingress or people who have a Seattle Go-Fest ticket, I believe.
Okay.
Select others, yes.
It's basically Niantic's social app, and all I can interject very quickly is I think they've taken some really good inspiration from places like Discord and Telegram and a few other services that have done really well, certainly during the pandemic and even before that, with coordinating raids and stuff. They've taken some very good ideas and put them together in their own thing, and it runs smooth.
Yeah, so far, literally, you can see any raid anywhere that's active. It really is solid. There's a chat feature. There's group chat somewhat akin to Discord. One thing that I do quite like, though, is if you add a friend in Campfire, it adds them into every Niantic game that you have as well.
Gents, can I ask? Sorry, sorry? It's called Campfire, and is the app like in Pokemon Go, or it's like another icon on your home screen? If that makes sense, it's like a.
So there is another app to download.
Okay, great. Okay,
it's a separate app, and it is linked with your Niantic friends and all that sort of stuff. But the raid map. Honestly, the raid map thing is so sick. It's all of the trackers and stuff that people used back in 2017, 2018, even I think to today. It's what people have been crying out for since raids began. Now it's finally available, where you can see every gym, see every raid. If you zoom in, you can send up a flare. Your friends get a notification of that location. And
are you being serious? It actually does all that? Yes, swear down.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Nick, is it good? Are you impressed?
Okay, so honestly, I haven't used it to do like any raids yet. What I have used the map for is to find the most ridiculous places I can go and play Pokemon Go. Like I scrolled all the way to Antarctica and looked for gyms. There's gyms at McMurdo Station. There's gyms at like the Chilean bases in Antarctica.
That's sick.
Okay, so this would be possible. But yeah, I mean, I think like the raid features, the flare features, are going to be very useful if they can get enough people to actually use it. That's my concern right now, is that there's so many established communities on Discord, Telegram, Facebook, WhatsApp.
Yeah.
What is the strategy for getting them to convert to Campfire and like move their communities over? I don't know. I think it's going to be great if we get enough people on it.
It's that buy-in, isn't it? And yeah, I mean, so far, I think it works really well. I mean, the chat feature's great. I can't really find any big faults yet. I mean, there will be more communities added. At the moment, there's only a very few, but they will become live and you'll be able to add your own communities. Yeah.
It will expand.
Ian, will I be able to send you selfies?
I don't think you send photos, but you will be able to chat to me through it, like text app. Yeah.
You'll have to input the image with like brackets and semicolons and stuff and draw it that way.
Yeah. What you're really asking, Coops, is
No, I'm not. Don't say it. No, don't say it. No, that's not what
You'll
I'm
still
asking.
need to use
that, isn't
OnlyFans for videos and stuff.
No.
But that's pretty much it for the news. The Campfire thing looks great. It works well at the moment, but there's only a limited sort of population on there. Anything more we can really add? I don't think there is there? It's good at the moment.
The most recent developer diary was just put out, and it's about Campfire.
Has that literally just hit, has it? Or
It's just hit. I haven't had time to read through it or anything like that, but it's a lot. It's a bit of text.
yeah, I do know a few people that have tried to download it, and
Oh, has there been a dev update, has there?
Yeah, it's a little
Oh,
blog.
Daxy's going to be gutted. Daxy was like priming himself to do a short saying we've been over 2 months since the last dev diary or whatever it was called. They've caught him out now. They've caught him out. They've released one. He's going to
No, there's a dev diary about Campfire. I think it's just quite cool. It will be interesting to see how it develops, because I think initially it might be a case of the raid thing is a bit weird. You can get flare notifications for gyms across the other side of the world, and then I don't know if you register your interest with another flare and do all of that. We'll have to see how it develops.
I also didn't know if you gentlemen wanted to talk about how good this the current 6th year anniversary event is. I didn't know if that was a thing.
Do we have to?
can we devote a couple of minutes to it? I don't think any of us are going to have
6
a lot to
minutes.
say.
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
I'll tell you what we can do, though. We can pass it over to someone who is not wearing a party hat, but it's now over to Ian, 27, for the pub quiz.
Well, here we go with the pub quiz. It feels really strange doing Mark's section. I kind of had to take it over because this is a pub quiz all about Berlin. Nick, you were there. Mark, you were there. Milo Coops, you weren't there, but we'll see if that high school education has actually got you knowledge about Berlin. So we're going to find out what you guys know about Berlin with 5 little questions, and we'll see who becomes the winner.
I've got no knowledge on London, let alone frickin' Berlin.
Okay, so the first question tonight is, which US president used the quote, "Ich bin ein Berliner"? Was it A, Ronald Reagan, B, John F. Kennedy, or C, Donald Trump? Let's go Coops first.
Well, I don't think it's Donald Trump. I'll go with John B.
John B. Okay.
I'll go with Ronald Reagan, please.
Masterful 27.
I'm going to go with B as well, Ian.
Okay, B. And Nick.
I will also go with B.
Yes, that means I'm right. Yes!
I don't know.
I just got to hear Donald Trump saying anything different
In
than
German.
referring to himself in first person.
Good answers. At least one if you got that right. Question number 2. In which year did the Berlin Wall come down? Is it A, 1989, B, 1990, or C, 1991? Mr. Casual.
So I'm going first every time, so I've got no advantage to go last. Every time.
He's put the 2 people who haven't been to Berlin and visited where the
Exactly.
Berlin Wall was first.
Makes sense, yeah.
Well, might not as well have done the bloody quiz anyway. Anyway, right, I'm going to go off, right, because Nick said 30 years ago, so 21, 20. I'm going to go with 91. I'm going to.
1991, so that's C, yeah? Okay. Milos?
I'll pick A.
1989. I see a pattern developing here for you. Mark?
I'm going to go for 89 as well, Ian. A.
Okay, and Nick?
I feel like I should know this, having just read so many plaques. Oh my god. I'm gonna say B. They all sound correct,
All quite
though.
close together. Okay, so which animal is the symbol of Berlin? Blank faces.
Snorlax.
Is it?
Slugma.
With the cowboy
Exactly.
hats.
Is it A, a bear, B, an eagle, or C, a goat?
Or D, a cheetah. For anyone that got that. Berlin's not a bear. Berlin, an eagle. That's more. I'll see a goat. Even that's equally as random as the eagle, but we'll go goat.
You're trying to find some word association with Berlin and all of those animals.
Yeah.
All right, come on then. Let's see you get the right answer.
I'm not going to. I'm pretty sure of that. I will go for an eagle, just to be a bit different.
Okay. Mark?
I'm going to go different because they've gone C and B. I'll go A for a bear.
And Mr. Oyzon.
I like that I'm going last, so I can kind of talk myself through it. There's a lot of bear statues that are Pokestops, so I'm gonna go with A.
Might just be. Okay, question number 4. How many lines does the Berlin U-Bahn have? That's the subway, the underground. Is it 5, 10, or 15?
I don't know how many London has. For God's sake.
Just so you know, Ian, the next pub quiz is going to be about things in my living room. A5, please, bro.
Coops on A.
I'll go B.
Yeah, okay.
I went on the U6. It's definitely more than 5. Right, okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Sorry,
Thanks.
Coops. Sorry, mate.
Oh, that's good information for me to know, because I had no idea. So I'll go with B also.
Cool. And the final question. This is simply a true or false. Berlin has more bridges than Venice, Italy. True or false?
It's a weird question. I would say naturally false, but because of that, I'm going to go true.
It's one of those pub quiz things where you think like you wouldn't have asked the question if it wasn't true.
Yeah, because it's so...
That's my philosophy when I do pub quizzes.
Milo loves a pub quiz. Milo's gone true as well, has he? I'm going to go false.
Nick.
I'm also gonna go false.
See, Milo, we thought about it too much. We
might both be right, Coops. You never know. Apart from Ian, who's tallying up right now.
Ian, how much pubic hair do I have? That's going to be yours.
Well, last time you talked to me, 0, because you shaved it all, didn't you?
You don't know, you missed a few.
Yeah.
So we'll go through the answers and then we'll say who the winner is. So, question number 1. Which US president used the quote, "Ich bin ein Berliner"? It was John F. Kennedy.
Yeah, let's go, Nick.
Woo-hoo.
In which year did the Berlin Wall come down? Well, it was 1989. Which animal is the symbol of Berlin? Nick was spot on. There were a lot of statues of bears in Berlin.
I wonder why he knew that, because he went.
Thanks, Pokemon Go.
Yeah, there's
I
a lot
wish
of
I
bears.
bookmarked some postcard stops now.
How many lines does the Berlin U-Bahn have? Well, it's 10.
Yeah.
And true or false, Berlin has more bridges than Venice? It's true, it does.
Yeah, Milo!
Yes! So, the winner tonight...
Pub quiz logic.
The winner tonight with 4 points.
It's casual.
Casual. No, it's not. It's Masterful, 27.
Hey.
Trainer Tips and Pogo Milo UK joint second.
Coops
And
last.
Coops last. Okay, but
Wow.
What's that?
I'm gonna
Smug comment.
I'm gonna throw the tiebreak at him because we know that Coops loves a tiebreak question, not for any points, but just for bragging rights. In 2022, what is the population of Berlin? We're gonna go nearest to the correct answer, and let's do this in reverse order. So Mark won. So Mark.
Fucking hell, Ian. That's a great question. It's 20,000 on Saturday, wasn't it? In the park? Does that count? No?
Not all in Berlin.
I googled this, so I'm going with the answer that came from Google.
Okay, it's a big city. It's a massive city. It's spread out. I mean, it's densely popular. Fucking hell. I don't even know what's a good figure. 11 million? That's probably too high.
That's
11
far
million?
too high, isn't it?
11 million for Masterful 27. Okay. Who came second? Milo.
I'll go for 2.5 mil. I don't know.
0.5. Nick?
7,861,420.
Okay. Specific answer there from Nick. And Casual Cooks, come on, give us this long drawn out answer that you normally go through.
No. So here's my thingy, right? So I reckon in So I reckon in London there's about 9-10 mil, right? So I'm going to straight away half that for Berlin. So that's down to 5 mil, but I don't think it's as much as 5 mil. So I'm thinking between 3 and 4.5. This is my logic. I have absolutely no freaking clue. So I'll just go 4 million.
4 million. Okay. One of you is fairly close. Nick and Mark were a little bit out. Milo, you was 1 million off, but Coots was only 500,000 off. It's 3,571,000.
Are you for real?
People.
Oh my god.
So your logic finally paid off.
So Coops is now tied with Nick and I.
No, that wasn't
we
the
need
point. That was just
another
for bragging
tiebreaker.
rights. That was just for bragging rights. Well, there we go. The Berlin pub quiz, and it'll be back to Mark for our next one in a couple of weeks. So coming straight out of the pub quiz, we're going to hand over to Trainer Tips himself to go through this week's edition of Shinies of the Week.
Shinies of the week.
I'm going to kick it off with Seamus H89. Just wanted to share my shiny luck from the past 24 hours. This is one day. It's not usually this good. There is a Stunfisk, Articuno, Hoppip, Zigzagoon, Ledian, and Natu. 6 shinies in 24 hours.
Wait, what? What's in 24 hours?
Yeah, that's what he put on.
Six.
Yeah, and they've all got the little blue
Wild.
halo around them, yeah.
Wild.
That's crazy. Congrats.
Nearly got as many as you, Nick. in 24 hours.
Right? Yeah.
Of a non-event. That's
GG's.
Seamus, Smugface.
famous.
Wow. Next up, Happy Time Hollis. Not a shiny, but I was listening to the last episode, and within seconds of someone sarcastically saying Hundo Luck, I got my second Hundo Whalmer from our research stack.
Nice.
A Hundo Whalmer. It's going to be a very big whale.
Bit of a gym defender. Max it out.
No, don't max it out. Whatever you do, don't.
I dare you. Max it out.
Great league.
Great league.
It's been so nice not talking about PvP for once, hasn't it?
Wait, it's PvP Dungeon. What?
And finally, Denticles. Denticles. With the,
Love the name.
Following meeting hashtag the Rural Trainer at Berlin GO-Fest. In the 5th of 8 episodes left, provided shiny and hundo luck during Spotlight Hour. Lediba, both a shiny and a hundo during the Spotlight Hour.
Nice.
It's a win.
Big win. Good spotlight.
Nice.
Congrats.
It was
Nice.
It was nice. It was so good actually because we talk about meeting people and that, and like I was walking with 1Z. Actually, 1Z, another nice content creator I met when I was in the park, and he starts chatting to me. Denticles does. We're just chatting away, and he goes, I love the podcast. He goes, I'm Denticles, and I went, oh my god, it's Denticles, and I was going, oh my god, mate, we've like butchered your name so many times, like we've seen you on the old Choice of the Week, and it just felt like it was like an instant sort of random connection. It was like, oh my god, it's Dent. It's like I was tweet you boys, go, I've seen Denticles.
Yeah.
Clarify the Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Lovely lad though. Oh,
Yeah. Shout out
well done,
Denticles.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely fantastic. Shinies of the week. Thank you very much, Nick, for reading out the sparkly and the hundos. Had a couple of hundos in there, which is always cool. But unfortunately, it's time to round out this week's episode. Before we get into the spiel, Nick, for I don't know whoever has been living under a rock for the last 6 years.
Yeah, this is
more.
embarrassing. Should we not even do this bit?
I don't feel like we need to do this, but it would be nice and customary, some good manners, because we are British after all. Nick, opportunity. Go on. Shout out your social media and your YouTube channel.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is called Trainer Tips. Should be pretty easy to find. And social media, Twitter and Instagram at TRNR Tips. Those are harder to find because we decided to abbreviate it, and it has haunted me ever since.
And TikTok, Nick, are you getting exclusive?
TikTok, check back with me in 5 years.
When TikTok's fallen over as a platform, probably.
Yeah.
Those will be linked in the
Not
podcast
that
show
they need to
notes
be, but they will be there.
if you really don't know who Trend Tips is, the OG.
Then why are you even listening to us?
Yeah.
But we do actually have to round out this show, as we've said, Shinies of the Week. If you do happen to get something while listening to the podcast, at Incensed Podcast on all social media platforms using the hashtag Shinies of the Week, that will possibly get you a feature on that section of the show.
But unfortunately, it won't be Nick reading it next week. It'll be me. So sorry about that.
It'll be the casual. It'll be another casual.
Yeah, true. Ian, do you want to ask your question that you normally do before Milo says
Yeah, I
goodbye
think
to
I
you?
will before Milo slips
Yeah.
into it. So, Nick, we've loved having you spend a couple of hours with us recording this. But the question I've got for you is, would you come back another time and do this all over again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, verbal contract, guys. You all heard it.
We heard it.
Noted. That's another one in the verbal contract file. Right, that's done.
Yes.
Thanks, Nick.
It's broadcast now.
Yeah, thank you, mate, for sure. Thank you very much.
Definitely, Nick.
Yeah, of course.
And on the note of another verbal contract, we'll have to say, if you enjoyed listening to the show, please hit the follow button on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on. And if you could drop us a 5-star review, that would be splendid. It really does help the show. We greatly appreciate your support. And speaking of support, thank you very much to everybody on the Patreon, the bronze and the silver tiers. You guys make the podcast production possible. And a special thank you to everybody on the gold tier. Some are in the stream right now, listening to the live recording.
They're there watching, listening.
They'll have heard the practice round of Chasing the Tail. And the gold tier Patreon members are Hermes Ninja, Tish Smith, JB, Clifford Mert, Agent MLI, Martin 2292, Darby Russ, Kerry and Zachary Young, Connor Lee, and finally Dom the Ragnarok. You guys help an enormous amount towards the production of this podcast, so thank you very much indeed.
Holy dolly!
And finally, guys, did we drop an incense? Did anybody get a shiny?
Yeah, no.
Did I fuck?
Nothing at all.
Coops and Nick, nothing.
I had no incense in my bag.
It's all right, you were stationary. You were stationary.
Yeah, I ran out of them last Christmas. So.
Fortunately for me, I actually pulled in a shiny Bunnelby.
Ooh.
But then again, I was luring 3 stops. And on that terrible disappointment for those 4, we'll end this week's show. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you all next week. Do take care.
I choose you!